What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video we're going to talk about something that is a hot topic in the comment section of every fishing YouTube channel, and that is spot burning. This is a really touchy subject, but it's an important one, and I'm going to explain my thoughts on it, think about how we can handle it better, and ultimately I just want to talk about this with grace, with charity, and hopefully we can all benefit from mutual discussion and brainstorming on this topic. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Now, the way I've always thought about spot burning is when you specifically name a location, give some GPS coordinates, and it really makes a fishing spot unfishable because it brings a lot of unwanted attention to that spot. Now, I know, I'm fully aware that in a lot of people's minds, people like me making fishing videos where the background is visible is spot burning in and of itself. And I understand that. I get where you guys are coming from. If you fished a spot for decades and suddenly you start to see more people there, it's crowded, the parking lot is full, you feel like decades of work has been undone. I really get that. Trust me, I don't push that to the side. I'm very understanding of that point. On the other hand, I'm in a bit of an interesting spot because my goal is to make fishing content where people can learn and grow and get out on the water. And that, by definition, requires me to make content. So for me, it's a very interesting tightrope that I'm walking on, balancing between not burning a spot and still getting people out there on the water. And like I said, I'm very sympathetic to this idea. I would never intentionally blow up a spot that I think is going to get an unnecessary amount of pressure. On the flip side, there are certainly some pros in addition to the cons when it comes to YouTubers or whoever, just guys who post on Instagram, bringing more attention to a fishery. As counterintuitive as it is, the more fishermen we have, the more resources that are devoted to conservation. It's very similar to hunting. In an ideal world, I'd love if I was the only one deer hunting on a stretch of land, but the reality is that the more hunters we have, the more dollars we have to spend on conservation. It's more important for society the more hunters we have. The same, I think, could be said of fishing. Really, anything when it comes to the outdoors, both hunting and fishing, has been on a steady decline since the 60s. We hit a peak in the 80s, and since then, fewer and fewer people are hunting and fishing. So bringing awareness to fishing, to techniques, encouraging people to get out there on the water, that's a pro that I think is overlooked in this overall discussion about spot burning. Now, obviously, I would never intentionally blow up a spot that I think can't handle the pressure. There are spots that I fish that I would never post a video at. Maybe it's a wintering hole that I know about. Maybe it's a tiny creek. I would never post content there because I wouldn't want that spot to take an unnecessary amount of pressure. At the same time, I'm not posting coordinates. I'm not doing things like that, but there are certainly places I fish that, at least if you're local, you can probably figure out where I'm fishing. That's part of the name of the game. So again, it's this balancing act, this tightrope that I'm on as a YouTuber. So I want to leave us with a message here, both for the people who hate YouTubers, hate people who post fishing content, that think we're spot burners. And I want to leave a message for those of us who are posting content, pictures in these various locations. So to those of you who think that I'm a spot burner or any YouTuber is a spot burner, I'm sympathetic to your thoughts on that. I understand. I would never intentionally bring unwanted attention to an area. I just ask that you have a little bit of charity, a little bit of grace for the tightrope that we're walking. I know there are people out there who are certainly only in this for the clicks and for likes and for money. I would like to think that's not me. I have no intention of doing YouTube full time. I don't want to quit my day job. I'm doing this to help spread my love of fishing, hopefully get more people into the game, and just, you know, spread some positivity when it comes to the outdoors generally. So I just ask that you have a little bit of grace for me and people like me, and maybe try to consider some of the pros that, you know, you may have been the only one fishing your spot for the past several decades, but fewer and fewer people are fishing. And you may have that spot to yourself for the next 10 or 20 years. But when you no longer can fish that area, when you get too old to chase the smallmouth in your hole, there might not be anyone to replace you. So people like me are helping bring awareness to fishing and the outdoors and helping carry on that tradition into future generations. Now, to the people like me, the people posting content, people who certainly get a little too close to spot burning, we can do better. We can make sure not to give coordinates of where we're fishing. We can have some wisdom when it comes to where we decide to post content. Again, I know there are places I would never post a video, just using my judgment. And I've posted videos in the past that I regret posting. Videos that I think contributed to the overpopulation of certain spots that can't handle the pressure, and I can do better there. So just try to have some wisdom, fellow YouTubers, content creators, those on Instagram and Facebook. Just try to use your judgment. Try to have some sympathy and charity when it comes to the other side. Those guys that think by virtue of making YouTube videos, we are by definition spot burners and hurting the sport. So I'm sympathetic to both sides, guys, at the end of the day. I understand your concerns for spot burning, but at the same time, I see great value in promoting fishing, the outdoors, encouraging fishing among younger generations where we are on a steady decline. So what are your thoughts on spot burning? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Leave a comment. I'm open to criticism, guys. You're probably not going to hurt my feelings, but I will ask that you try to remain civil, have some grace and charity in the comments. But I hope that through this video, we can all learn both sides, and that we're going to have a better day tomorrow of fishing than we did yesterday. Thanks for watching, guys. Tight lines.